He still looks way too much like me, far more than in real life, but I guess my sleeping brain fucks with genetics way more than I do in the daylight. And still, just like all the other times this dream has found me, he doesn't say a word. Nothing but silence from my old man as he studies me with eyes that are just a little too much like mine. Then he smiles, and I wake up screaming. Heart pounding against my ribs, sweating bullets, arms and legs thrashing, the whole thing. It definitely freaked out the chick who was sleeping next to me. I tried to apologize, but she was already fumbling in the dark for her clothes. She'd forgotten. She had someplace to be at, checks analog watch in the dark, 3:15 a.m. on a Sunday. I can admit I was moderately bummed that she didn't even ask if I was okay. But honestly, we'd only just met last night in a hookah bar. Hadn't quite reached the I'll be your late-night dream trauma therapist stage of the relationship. Lucky for her, I didn't add insult to injury by peeing the bed. That's actually been happening a lot lately. And by a lot, I mean more than never, which is way too often for a fucking grown man with a medical degree. So run, Carrie, or Courtney, or Carney, or whatever your goddamn name was. Run for your life, and don't look back. You definitely dodged a bullet. What I'm saying is, I think I might be fucked. I think my brain is short-circuiting, inhospitable, broken, melting out through my ears. God damn it, none of those feel right. What I'm trying to say is I feel asphyxiated, I think. Like there's a vice around every muscle in my body and every corner of my mind, and with every twitch or stretch or idea or hope, the crank spins and the jaws squeeze tighter and nothing anywhere can breathe. And that's a run-on sentence, with a mediocre mix of metaphors that I've stretched within an inch of their lives. Great start. I suppose what I should lead with is the infuriating truth. I'm not good with words. Actually, I am really good with some words. I can bullshit my way through just about any situation that I don't deem personally consequential with the charisma to make anyone believe me. It's just one of the gifts that make me so deceptively toxic. But I'm very highly ungood at the other words, the ones that matter to me. Selective mutism. And I don't just throw the phrase around to flex SAT-level vocab retention. I'm pretty sure it's been baked into my faulty brain wiring since I first blinked and breathed. There were countless times before I even had a 10th birthday when I found myself consumed by feelings that weren't as simple as the ones I'd learned in school. You remember those books we used to read in class? Point to the colorful cartoon faces whose entire existence demanded they live up to the name happy, sad, angry, scared. Never any faces for their more complicated descendants. Guilty, traumatized, ashamed, inadequate, depressed. And even if they'd considered expanding the feelings family tree, I don't think the illustrators would have had the guts to draw the deeper truth. All of those new emotions would most likely wear the same expression as the unassuming, flat-mouthed, pastel, disembodied head named Fine. Yeah, everything's fine. And so the result was a 7-year-old boy who appeared totally fine until he started going to sleepover parties at perfectly nice children's houses only to knock on their parents' bedroom doors at 11 p.m., tearfully pleading to go home. He'd sit in a chokehold of wordless responses to his father's frenzied demands that he explain himself and accept the blame for wasting gas and precious night hours that should belong to sleep. And then he'd be fine again for weeks, maybe months, until he fell uncharacteristically quiet for a few days, then plunged into a fevered, vomiting illness for a few more, only to miraculously recover when his report card arrived with nothing but exceeds expectations in all subjects. His psychologist mother was no fool, and she did her professional best to poke and prod for the meaning behind his clearly psychosomatic freakout, but to no avail. Because words are hard, and truthful words are even harder. Where does a kid find the words to explain that the sleepover party debacle wasn't just homesickness, but also an all-consuming